Hi, this is JP Presevento, the Fox C6 EdTech Coordinator. In the last video, I showed you how we use Google Forms to create a PD request approval system. So in this video, I want to take you on the back end and look at our Google Sheet and show you how we use Formule, Copy Down, and a couple basic Google Sheet functions to make everything work on the back end. So let's head on over to my Google Sheet. So in the last video, like I said, we started building out the Google form, and here I have a copy of the Google Sheet where all of our data goes. And what I want to start out by doing is showing you the formulas that I use to kind of make things work in the background, and then we'll take a look at Copy Down and Formule. So the first thing I did, I put all my formulas in row 2, and since I'm not the person who always ends up interacting with this form, I make sure I put in here formula row do not delete, because one day we had someone sort all the rows and kind of mess things up for us. So I make sure I write that in row 2 here. The first formula we use is over here in column O, and that's a little VLOOKUP formula. So what we do, we just use this VLOOKUP, and over on sheet 2, I just have a list of schools and the email address of the person who should receive those PD requests. So on the form, when an applicant puts whatever building they teach in, that automatically reroutes this to that principal's email. And that's a really important part of the PD request, because without this, we wouldn't be able to start that approval route system. As we move on, there are a few other formulas here. The next one here is in column W, when we're looking at the substitute cost. So what I have here is a little if formula. So I say that if column Y is yes, and Y is will a substitute be needed. If they say yes, then we do a little multiplication saying how many days they're going to be gone, multiplied by our daily sub rate. After that, the next thing we have as far as formulas go is over here in the miles. And that's just a little right here where it says mileage reimbursement, column AF. We just take this column before it, the number of miles they're driving, and multiply that by our mileage reimbursement rate. And then the last formula we have is column AJ. That's the total estimated expenses. So that just adds up all the columns that had monetary values in them. And just in case you're not sure, one issue that we have when we're doing this is teachers putting in dollar signs or NA or writing out words. So we had to put on the form in every question, use digits only. The next thing we need to do in this spreadsheet is use a tool called Copy Down, which is a Google Sheets add-on, to copy our formulas down to each new row of the spreadsheet that is created as the form gains new responses. When you're working in a Google Sheet that has the responses to a form, every new response creates a new row. Typically, formulas will not copy through those additional rows. So we'll have to add an add-on called Copy Down to get our formulas to copy down. So if you don't have it, you just come up here and click on Add-ons, Get Add-ons, and Add Copy Down. So Copy Down's right here. I'll go ahead and click Copy Down Settings, and you simply turn it on, and Copy Down's going to recognize the formulas that you have in your sheet, and then it sees all these formulas I have here, and if something's not there, I'll just go ahead and rediscover, but it looks like it found everything for me. And then I'm just going to hit Save Settings, and Copy Down's going to do its work every time a new form is submitted. So if I go all the way to the end here, you'll see that Copy Down created its own column, and it'll let us know when formulas are copied down or if there's an error and they weren't copied down. The next thing I need to do is set up email templates through Formule. So again, I'm going to add the add-on Formule if we don't already have it by going to Get Add-ons and Formule. So I'm going to go here to Formule, I'll hit Open. And this is where this form gets a little tricky. So if you're not familiar with Formule, what it does, it will send out automated email responses based on form submissions. And you can have up to 15 different email templates. So the first thing I'll do is select the sheet. And there are quite a few hidden sheets here. So I'm going to go ahead and just look for the sheet that says Form Responses. and I'm going to turn it on Form Submit. I'm going to go ahead and click to log a case number for each submission and log the edit URL for each submission. It's really important that you log the edit URL because that's how everyone in the approval process will get to edit the form. Because keep in mind that there's one form per PD request, and that form will just get edited by each person in the approval process. I'll go ahead and hit next. And then I have to decide how many templates you need. And I use 15 templates because we have a lot of people in our approval process. But just for demonstration purposes, we're going to set up 3 different templates here. Template 1 will be submission confirmation. Template 2 will go to the building principal. And template 3 will go to central office. So what I'm going to do here for submission confirmation, I'm going to say send condition. So if the select one question equals, and whatever that answer was, so that answer was I am applying to attend professional development. So what you need to do is you need to make sure this is typed out exactly as the answer choice is written on your form. So what you may want to do is just go back into the form and copy and paste. So also, the email will go to the building principal. If we'll look for the item that says select one, it says I am applying to attend professional development. So that way the principal and the teacher will get an email whenever the teacher selects that. We'll go to the PD director if the building approval decision equals approved. So that's kind of the gist, and obviously we have a few more templates in there. We actually use all 15. You see with Formule you can have 15 possible templates, and we use all 15 for different routes in our approval system. But this is kind of the gist of how we do it. So once I have given these templates kind of their send conditions, I'm going to hit Save Template Settings, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit Edit Templates. So now, if we look up here in the top left corner, this first template we're building is the one that says Submission Confirmation. So it's going to go to, and over here on the right, we have the merge tags. All these merge tags will pull one cell from the spreadsheet. So if I put applicant email address here, whatever the row of the spreadsheet has for that cell will automatically fill in. So we actually have spot for up to 5 email addresses. So I'll go ahead and put all 5 of those there. We don't need to CC anyone. We don't need to BCC anyone. And here, this won't get a reply, so we'll just type no reply. And the subject will be thank you for submitting a PD request. So then we'll go ahead and start typing the body of this email, including merge tags. And what I'll end up doing is just putting a copy of everything the applicant had on their PD request just for their records. So I'll start out with hi, and then we'll put first name just so it's a little personal. And notice how in the body of the email you have a heading and then you have the tag. So I'm just going to go ahead and erase that heading. And then I'll type out a little message and go ahead and start including those tags. So I typed out a little greeting in the email, and now I'm just going to go ahead and start up here with these merge tags and start adding all the pertinent merge tags to the email. And I'll just hit enter after each merge tag. And you kind of see where I'm going with that. Once I'm finished, please notice that this saves automatically. And I'll go ahead and repeat this process for every template that I have built. This has been a brief demonstration of how to set up your spreadsheet with CopyDown and Formule if you're automating the PD request approval system. There'll be one more video in this series in which I show you how to use the Google Sheets add-on Autocrat to send out a confirmation email for any approved professional development requests.